Hi, I'm recording artist Leiden. I also play Chano on the great show Checkin In. I wanted to catch you before this episode starts. It's a little tricky, and we wanted to make sure that y'all had a great time. In the story of the show, the town, Muskington County, is falling apart at the seams. Yet, there's one person that seems to know that's going on, and that would be Kit the librarian. Today's episode revolves around existential media, which is media that makes you go, whoa, that's deep. We did this because while we love existential media, we also like to make a little fun of it, because sometimes art should be fun. We didn't want to make you, the audience, feel left out, so we put the references in time codes on the YouTube video so that you can check them out if you have some free time, which we highly recommend. And as always, thank you for watching. God bless you.
We've met before, haven't we? In the library, don't you remember? Of course, it fell a long way to get here. As a matter of fact, I'm 10 right now. Kid hasn't told you.
It's been 25 months since we started this season, but it feels like yesterday. Everything seemed normal. Muskington County normal, at least. We couldn't have known at the time that nothing would ever be the same again. Someone, somewhere, has made a mistake that's about to cost all of us more than we could imagine. I think I know what I need to do now, but I just don't know if it's going to make things better or worse. But I have to try. I can't let the cycle of madness continue. I can't let us all suffer the consequences of one fool's mistake. Yet here I am, sitting at my damn desk, hesitating.
Hey Kit, I just got your message. You said you wanted to talk. What's going on? Kit? I lost my lunch.
I'm sorry to hear that. Would you like medicine?
No, I'm fine. I dropped my lunch and then I threw up. I also saw a dead body that kind of looked like me.
I can see how that would be upsetting.
It spoke to me and said you knew something.
Well, I guess we should have this out now. Have you noticed that the last few months have been nothing but a series of distractions? Every time we noticed something, a situation arose that prevented us from continuing that train of thought.
What kind of situation?
I mean, take the Mirror's Call, for example. It was much earlier this season. Season 2, Episode 2, which released on April 23rd, 2022. The mayor demanded that we make a hit show.
I wrote an episode for YouTube for the show. It'll be what the kids say.
Lit.
I can't remember. Do you want to flash back?
Yes. It's so dark.
It's been a while.
Father, I mean Mayor.
Librarian Kid, you're going to make a hit episode.
What are you saying? It took Faeth 7 months to edit the last episode. A kid just got here, dude.
All I ask is that they sit in the review chair, nothing more.
You can't.
My number one priority is to make me money. For that reason, any host, even remotely capable of making a hit show, must try, no matter their experience.
But why me?
Because this task would be impossible for anyone else.
It's impossible for me too.
Either make this episode for me, or I'll have Faeth do it instead.
Wait, this isn't how I remember this going. Who's the lady in the blonde wig? And why is Chano dressed like that?
Stupid Kit.
Wait, that's not how I remember that going. Kit, you never answered my question. What's going on and what's happening? Are you stalling again?
No.
Then let's get into it.
I do sort of have a confession to make, though.
Oh. You're gonna tell me in this episode?
What? No, probably next episode.
At least the audience knows it'll happen at some point.
Do you know that person?
No, of course not. Come on in, the water's fine.
Maybe we should just leave.
So go.
I did.
I wish you'd stayed.
I wish I'd stayed.
Well, I've been asking you what's been going on in this town, and you left.
I walked off. I walked down the beach.
Why?
I felt like a scared little kid. This whole thing's been so over my head.
You were scared?
I want to go back to the library. I just try to figure out this whole thing. This is just supposed to be a review show.
Is it? Kit, what if we reviewed something right now?
What's the point? Would that even change what's happening?
We never know unless we try. Meet me on the review couch.
I want you to find Dr. Witherspoon.
Now.
Yes.
MirrorMask is a 2005 movie written by Neil Gaiman and Dave McKean, produced by Jim Henson. It follows the story of Helena, the daughter of two circus workers/owners that have to stop moving due to one of them being sick. This devolves into a fever dream journey to find a special charm to save the world. It covers topics of grief, regret, and the complex relationship that exists between a mother and daughter. My brother and I actually found this on DVD at our local library, like back when we were kids. That cover is incredible.
If I was at the library looking around, that would be something that I would for sure.
You're like, I need to get this. Pretty much since then, I've loved that movie. It's been one of those like cult classic movies that every time someone says, I've never heard of it, I'm like, I'm not surprised, but I'm gonna show it to you.
Well, I remember when we first met here in Muskington County, one of the first times when we had like a movie night here, that was like one of the first movies you put on.
Oh yeah, because it's so hard to find.
We should do more movie nights here at the library.
We will. Once. We will.
Yeah. It is very British. It is probably one of the most British films that I've ever seen.
You shall not pass.
Right. Riddle. If you've got it, you want to share it. If you share it, you haven't got it. Look, I haven't got all day. Will you give in?
All right. What is it?
It's a secret.
Well, what is it?
It's a secret!
Please, just tell me.
Look! An idiot!
Where?
Yeah, from the color grade to the actors, the general feel of the movie is like something you'd see on the BBC.
The charm.
No, that's actually a chicken.
The charm.
I understand this must be quite painful for you, but really, it is a chicken.
I keep trying to tell him. He just doesn't listen.
I could sound like an uneducated American right now, because I know one of these things that I'm going to talk about isn't British.
It was at this moment that Faith realized that both of the television shows that she was about to mention were not British. They were, in fact, Australian. She would like to apologize.
I want to apologize.
But it feels like that show, you know those shows that used to be on Discovery Kids? You didn't really want to watch, but if
they were
on like a Sunday and you're like, I don't want to go to school, and you didn't want to think about your life, so you watched the H2O mermaid show.
I'm thirsty.
I'll get you a drink.
Emma?
Or you watched Round the Twist.
As much as this movie does give that very British identity, it also has this almost feel of like a long-lost Studio Ghibli live-action film. It has a lot of the themes that are present in those movies. It's a focus on a coming-of-age story with a female protagonist, with underlying themes of wanting to escape your starting point in life. I've just listed like 5 Studio Ghibli films just by saying those points. But I will say it's also like, it is wildly imaginative. It's equal parts like beautiful and bizarre.
Thank you. I think I'm not quite sure I understood it all.
Yeah, well, who does? I certainly don't. Hello. I think you've made a friend.
A really useful book. Remember what your mother said.
You can feel the influences. You can tell that it's through Jim Henson because, you know, The Labyrinth, The Dark Crystal.
The animation is super wild because it's early 2000s 3D animation.
Yeah, like reboot.
Because of how unique and cool the art style is, it totally works for the film.
Yeah.
It doesn't look out of place.
No.
Because of everything being so fantastical. Also, the green screen work is amazing in that film.
Yeah, second to none.
I wish that we could do that, but we're not that good. And the creatures in it are bizarre.
And terrifying. It has a very similar feel, and I think they both kind of worked on it, to the novelization of Coraline. Dave McKean is also the one who did the art for it, so you can really see, like, oh yeah, this is him. Because there's like the weird Sphinx cats, the giants that are amorphous, where they don't have like a fully like solid shape.
Those monkey pigeon things.
What do you think was the most exciting part? Those clay heads? The monkey with wings?
I don't know how this was marketed, but part of me feels like this was probably marketed super kid-friendly. Like if my parent took me to see this when I was like 2005, I think I'd be devastated. Because this is truly like the least kids film.
I don't know, I'm assuming they leaned really heavy on the Labyrinth and like Dark Crystal. Weird fun fact, Lisa Henson, so daughter of Jim Henson, she's actually the one who scouted both Neil Gaiman and Dave McKean in order to create a movie, in her words, in the vein of the Labyrinth and Dark Crystal, which is just brilliant.
Nice. I give this movie 3 David Bowie's crotches out of 3.
3 out of 3.
3 out of 3.
Meme school.
Serial Experiments Lain is a 1998 anime created by Yasuyuki Ueda, featuring original character designs by Yoshitoshi Abe. The series follows Lane Iwakura, an adolescent girl in suburban Japan, and her relation to the Wired, a global communication network similar to the internet. This is a show with such a strong sense of self, an immaculate aesthetic that refuses to hold your hand as much as it refuses to hold on to any one idea of what is going on.
Serial Experiments Lain is one of my favorite animes ever. It's just so good.
Oh God, it's so good.
The anime's theme song is an absolute banger.
I don't think that I could have ever heard the word understand, or I don't think I ever could have heard the word understand. What am I trying to say?
Seem to understand.
I just don't understand, because every time that I hear it, I'm just like,
and you don't seem to understand.
I remember watching it back in like the early 2000s. Yeah, I was definitely too young at the time to like understand any of it.
It's okay. I think I'm too young to understand it now.
I haven't seen Lane around lately. Who the hell is Lane? She's a young girl. A young girl? She's very powerful. How do you mean?
I will say though, it really stuck with me.
I found it at FYE. Weirdly enough.
Yeah.
I found it at FYE. I was just flipping through the anime DVDs when I was like 12, 13 or something like that. And I remember seeing it was like the last one and I was like, whoa. And the cover spoke to my overly serious teenage soul.
I feel that. We have like a nostalgia for the English dub. That's not to say that the original dub's bad. It's just that we grew up with those English voice actors, and unless it was like egregiously horrible, that's just what we stick with.
I think it's interesting because the dub for this anime is so weird because it's so stilted.
Yeah, but it works.
Well, so Julie, are you still getting email? Email?
Back in the 90s, anime dubs were the most hit and miss ever.
Yeah.
You got
a Cowboy Bebop?
What are you going to do? Just throw your life away like it was nothing?
I'm not going there to die. I'm going to find out if I'm really alive.
Yep, you got a Cowboy Bebop.
And then you got a Sailor Moon.
Sure, no problem. I just put a bunch of onions in my pocket and take a good whiff before the scene.
Also, speaking of the 90s, I mean, I have a fondness for that specific type of animation. Stuff that's not beautifully
fluid
or anything.
Rotoscoped almost.
I mean, it's so good.
So good.
But it's also so terrifying.
Yeah.
One thing when we were rewatching this for the review that I noticed was the eyes in the show.
Where like sometimes they look normal, and then most of the time they're like the tiniest pinprick of an iris.
And oh my God, it gave me like chills when I was like rewatching it.
This anime has like an incredible use of environment to kind of set tone. A lot of the shots are so minimalist where there's very little details. It's not like what you would see now where everything's like super high quality models then drawn on top of kind of stuff. No, it's like bare bones with the shadows using textures instead of just flat shadows to kind of give this weird foreboding feeling.
We were just kind of talking about with like how creepy it is, and the audio in the show is absolutely incredible. Electricity is a very prominent theme in the show. Those power lines you hear quite a lot.
The hum of a computer on, someone typing on a keyboard or on their phone. There's always some kind of white noise in the scene.
There's a sense of dread that runs along the whole show. Lane's family is completely disjointed.
No one answers each other. It's like half conversations from each person.
Mom?
Yes?
I got an email from a friend today. It was from this girl I know who killed herself last week.
The great thing about Lane is that you come up with your own interpretation of what happens.
Yeah.
There is kind of a plot that you can follow, but to me, anytime I ever see anyone that's like, this is what the story is in Lane, I'm
They
kind of
have to like disregard other parts of Lane, which then completely doesn't serve the purpose that they're trying to.
Yeah.
In my opinion, Lane is a psychedelic exploration of self, spirit, religion, and identity. I would liken it to stuff Satoshi Kon made, like Paprika, Paranoia Agent, but the thing is, those came after this. This was first.
The show constantly flip-flops between all of the other people seeing all the weird stuff and
just not acknowledging it, yeah.
Okay, is that really happening?
Or is it not?
Is what we're watching right now is a representation of The Wired, or is it...
Or is it like some kind of like deeper meaning inside of Lane herself? Is like all of this some kind of fever dream that she's having? Is this how a prepubescent adolescent girl experiences the world?
And that's what makes it so good.
It does not hold your hand, and it doesn't expect you to understand it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of half of what makes it so cool.
That's true. Let's all love Lane.
Let's all love Lane.
So good and tasty.
Kit, you've been stalling this whole time.
No, I'm not. I've been trying to tell you. You just haven't been listening.
No, you're just not talking. You keep doing all these weird transitions, and then we're talking about something else. So no more references to existential media, no more flashbacks. Just tell me what's going on.
No, don't you see? All of this has just been another distraction.
Maybe you just need to fight through this. The truth needs to be told. To me, to the mayor, to everyone out there.
Maybe I can tell the truth to everyone. The truth is what sets us free, right? Maybe by telling the truth, I can save everyone. I can tell the truth, and I can make this episode.
Congratulations, Kit.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Congrats. You did it.
I wasn't in this episode, but congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you all. Kit, you never answered my question. What's going on? Who killed that person that looks like me?
I'm sorry for all of this, Faith. I really am. I think I need to tell you something.